Good evening, everyone. It's Dawn with Shall We Stamp, coming to you from hot and humid Florida. It has been hot and humid with all the rain that's been taking place. Sorry, my arm's in the way. I'm trying to adjust the camera for the start. So, anyways, I am here. Hope you guys are signing in. Let me know. Oh, I guess I better go in here and add my comments, huh? All right, give me just a minute. Let me load some comments. I'm going to put my microphone on just to make sure that y'all can hear me and get a good sound. I think that'll work. Okay, I got my little stringy cord here, so I can't go far. Faye, welcome. Your name was drawn from last week, and I think I have your address, if I'm not mistaken, but would you message it to me anyways? And then I will send you the cards that we're making this evening, and you can use those if you'd like, or you can give them to someone. And Chris, I need your address. I know you sent it to me, and I wrote it down, and now I can't find it. And I was going back through the feed and the last video, and I can't find your address. My apologies. I didn't want you to think I'd forgotten you. So if you had messaged me with your address as well. So how is the weather up in, Chris, you're in North Carolina, right? And I think we have mutual friends, Martha Armstrong and Liz, Tammy, and all, well, Liz is out in Colorado now, but I think we have mutual friends. Hi, Judy. Glad you can make it. So we'll start here in a few minutes as everybody starts signing in. And I will, let's see. Oh, you're quite welcome. Let's see what else is going on. I got a bunch of cards I have to show you all that I've been receiving. My birthday's coming up. Woohoo! I'm going to be the whopping 62. So, you know, you think back and you just think, you know, when you were younger, you used to think about how old that was. I remember when the year 2000, you know, was so far out in the distance, and I was going to be 40 in the year 2000, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is just old, you know, just old. I'm trying to get the camera just old. And now that I'm going to be 62, it's really not that old. I mean, I still feel, you know, even though I still have a little bit of few aches and pains and stuff, but for the most part, I think I'm in pretty good shape. But oh my goodness, the you know, it just, you look in the mirror and I just don't think I'm going to be 62. I don't know. I guess it's all a mental thing, but whatever. I don't think that. So anyways, thank you for sharing, Patricia. Make sure you all share and leave your comments so that you'll go into the drawing. And some, it's taken me longer to get their stuff mailed to them than it does for others. And I apologize for that. There's a lot going on. I've got, orders. I'm doing a BOGO, and I've left it just to let you all know in case you want to check it out. It's on my Shall We Stamp online BOGO. If you look that up on Facebook, and it's I have put all my retired stamps and dies and embossing folders, and I still have more stuff to load. But anyways, I was going to run it through the 8th, but I've had such good rapport and good sales and everything from it, and people coming on and looking for stuff that they haven't been able to find. So if you're interested, even though it says it's stopping on the 8th, I'm just going to leave it open until the end of the month. And there's an instruction sheet that tells you. So if you're a demonstrator, basically how it works is whatever you spend in my retired product, you'll get that same dollar amount for free in catalog products. So basically, you'll send me your list, and there's all the instructions are in there with the forms and all that stuff. But if you're a demonstrator, then you can just buy it and not have to worry about ordering from me, because obviously you want to get your own order and get your sales in. So that helps with helps you with your sales. So anyways, if you want to take a look at it, again, it's Shall We Stamp Online BOGO is the page. And you'll have to request for me to add, to allow you in. I'm not quite sure how it's set up like that. And I went back to try to fix it. But anyways, it is what it is. So check it out and see. I was going to try to add more embellishments, but I'm running out of time today. We're leaving in the RV again tomorrow. we're trying to get in another trip before my husband has to go back to work. So we're just going to head down to a beach that's about 2.5 hours from us, from the Villages. So, but that'll be all right. We're going to get out of town and just, even though there's so much going on, we're just going to hang out in the RV and try to stay away from people as much as we can. Hello, Miss Amy Banks. So, well, thanks, Linda. 62 is a good number. I hope so. Maybe I need to play it in the lottery, but I don't play the lottery, so I guess I'll never win. But anyways, so yeah, it's a little strange saying that I'm going to be 62 and collecting Social Security. It's like, woo. But anyways, that's okay. I've worked hard, so all of my life, actually, from the time I was 16. So, all right. So I'm going to just go through, first of all, I just want to share with you some cards that I got in the mail. And I'm going to flip the camera over, so give me a minute. Hopefully I'm in the camera range. Yep. And I belong to another group, and we send cards to each other for either birthdays or random acts of, kindness or whatever. But here are some cards that I got, and I thought this is really sweet from people. This is from Trisha, and she sent me this birthday card, and I think it's nice because it gives me, I get to see what other people do in making their cards, so it gives me some ideas. I would open it, but she's wrote a long letter in there. So, but this is a card, and I thought that was really cute. And then here's one I just got the other day. This is if y'all remember, Lemon Lime Twist. That's what that is. And this is from Barbara Hill, and she's part of one of the clubs that I belong to. And that's a cute one. I love these colors. So that's another cute birthday card. And then I had sent a birthday card to somebody that I don't know, and I got that off the list, and her name is Michelle, and it was really nice of her. She sent me this card and wrote me the whole inside of the card and the other half, a really nice message and everything. So I thought that was very sweet. And this is that honeybee stamp set, but it's very simple, but I like it. I like that. So I'll bring it up a little bit so y'all can see. So I thought that was sweet. And then I got another one. And this is, again, this is somebody I sent Happy Mail to. And this is from Jean. And let's see. She had a challenge to send out Happy Mail, to her high school class. She'd been 56 years. They're planning on to get together or something. So anyways, so she sent that to me, and I thought that was really cute. So it's a lot you can do. This is the designer paper, so she just took that and made it into a card. Well, I'm sorry. She attached it to the back side of the card on the inside, just cut a little flap. So that was nice. And then I got a thank you card from Marilyn thanking me because I sent her a card that she could reuse, and so she sent me one back the same way as a thanks. So I thought that was really sweet. And that's some of the paper that we used last year that has now since retired. And then I got this birthday card in the mail from Evelyn, and she's another person that's in the group. And this is using the, I think it's called the Planks embossing folder or something like that. But I like how she put the dots in the little Dumaflachies there. I think that looks really cute. So I like that one. So anyways, those are some of the cards that I got for my birthday and for thanks and all that stuff. So, and as you know, even though we make cards, we all love to get mail, right? At least not bills. We just like getting the fun stuff. So anyways, my hostess code, if you're not on my newsletter, I made a correction. Miss Riley, the dog, she decided she was going to help me and type up a flyer to put her little face on it for the June shopping code. And she put an X here instead of a Y. So the host code is YXY9JJFN. If you decide you want to order from me and you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, that's what you'll use for the month of June. Yes, I'm blaming it on the dog because I did the typing, but she took credit for it. So anyways, all right. So people are popping on. So we'll go ahead. It is 10 after 7. So let's go ahead and get started. Do y'all have your catalogs? Don't you love it? Oh my goodness. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I can open the catalog now and show you all the fun stuff. All right, we're going to work with the Jar of Flowers again, but did you know, let me find the page that it's on, the Country Home stamp set that we had carried over. So let me pull up that one. I'm going to use the flowers. That is on page 89. So we're going to do the jar of flowers here, and we're going to use, oh, I said 89. Here it is, 80, this one. We are going to use this, which one are we using? Oh, I'm using this one here, I think. Is that the one I'm using? I think so. I can't remember what I'm using. Let me look at it and see. I'm confused now. I got a flower. Oh, you know what I did? Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? I think I used the one. Oh, you know, I lied. I think I'm using the one out of the daggone stamp set. Let me see. I did. I lied. We're doing this one. This one right here. So sorry. But anyways, just to let you know. I tell you, it's been a crazy day. Anyways, maybe I'll do this not next week because I've already got those cards designed. Maybe the following week. But the Country Home, I love this card, this stamp set, and I'm glad it carried over because I really need to use it some more. I used it a lot last year. But these flowers and things will fit in our jar of flowers. Now, the other thing, not sure if you all knew this, and I'm going to show it to you. This is a reversible stamp. So what that means, and I'll show you when I do it, that you put the stamp on one way that has the ridge, how you get the ridge, and then you ink it up. Then if you flip it over, you can stamp the inside color to give you water and stuff, or whatever it is you want to put on the inside of your card. So I'll show you. That's what I'm going to do. So I lied. We're using this stamp set here. I mean, this stamp right here, the flowers. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, this one is using some of the new this is what we're going to make right here. And this is using the In Color, new In Colors paper. This is the the In Color Designer Series paper. It's in a 6x6 pack. And this is Misty Moonlight. Oh gosh, Misty Moonlight, I think it is. Oh God, I can't believe I can't remember. Why am I going blank today? I think it's Misty Moonlight, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it is. I will confirm that. Misty Moonlight. I'm pretty confident that's it. So isn't this a gorgeous card? And then this is another piece of that paper as well. So if you haven't bought these, I think they're $11.50 for a pack. There's 48 sheets of 6x6 papers and these 6x6 packs of paper. So this is what we're going to make today. And then I'll show you how we're going to do the glass part. All right. So let me get my, and this is the one that comes with the punch, as you can buy it as a bundle. And then I'm going to also show you a trick where I'm using this Label Me Fancy punch. And this is the punch where it's got a little cut here and then it's got a dot. So I guess if you want to be able to pull ribbon through and tie it as a label or a tag or something, you can do that. But I'm going to show you how to make it smaller. So see how small that guy is? And we're going to do that out of this right here. So look at that. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to do all of that. All right, so we're going to start with a piece of thick Whisper White. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. And let me get my goodies out here, and I'll give you all the measurements. Now, I went ahead and colored everything because I know I don't want to hold y'all up while you watch me color. But I used our, and I'll show you again, I used our Stampin' Blends, and this is, I'll point, Rococo Rose, and this is Seaside Spray, and this is the dark of Seaside Spray. Old Olive, soft suede, good Lord, so Saffron, and then this is a Seafoam, hang on, I got my paper sitting right here, so I should be able to find the Seafoam, gosh, I can't remember, hang on a minute, it's right here, Soft Seafoam, I knew I'd get the hang of it. Soft, good thing I have my paper near me. Soft Seafoam, and then this is Pool Party, and this is where I did the reverse stamping, so I'll show you all that. And then these are the new In Color Enamel Dots, and I will talk to you a little bit about those as well. We've been having a little bit issues with these, but I'll hopefully show you how you can lift these up without it coming apart. So that's what we're going to make. All right, so let me get my stuff together. So since I've done all the coloring, there's really not a whole lot other than I am going to stamp the jar. And let me make sure I've got my, oh Lord, where's my black ink? Hang on. All right, I've left my black ink at the other table. Hold on a second. I got to run and get it. See, I was packing everything for tomorrow because we're heading out in the RV again, and I thought I left some out for the class. But anyway, okay. So I'm going to show you how we do this jar here. We're going to stamp it, and then we're going to do our coloring. I'm sorry, I didn't use Pool Party. I used Seaside Spray, and I stamped it off. So that's what we're going to use to make our reversible card. And let me get that out because I think I'm going to need that. And here's our cardstock, so I'll get that put aside for just a second. Here's the piece I went ahead and already colored, so we saved some time. All right, and the dimensions, and this is that in color. So these two strips here are 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/2. And then this piece here is 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. So all I did was put it on the Whisper White, and you can see I don't have it evenly spaced, but that's okay. So I left the white in between to kind of bring it out so it doesn't look quite as dark. And then I'm going to pop these up on dimensionals, and this is popped up on dimensionals as well. Okay? So let's see. What do we want to do here? We'll put that together in just a second. Let me go ahead and show you on the card how we're going to, I don't know why I have the flowers here because I'm not using that. Okay. All right, so let's stamp the jar. So I have the right side up that you can feel the ridges on the stamp. I don't know, you can't really see that. I can't really see it in my hand either. Let's see if we can put a piece of white underneath of it. You might be able to see it right there. Get it turned to the light. All right, so we're going to stamp this. We're going to go ahead and make our jar. This is such a cute thing. I swear, I really love this. All right, so I'm going to, let me get up here in the camera. I'm using a scrap piece of paper. So we're just going to stamp that down. All right, and I don't like that because I didn't get all the ink, so let's do that again. And let me bounce my little pad around here. Let's try it on this side over here. See? And we're going to stamp it this way because that's how our punch works. All right, so we're going to put that, let it sit for just a second. All right, now I'm going to clean this off. Let me clean my stamp. All right, now we're going to come back and I'm going to flip this thing over. So now you've got the smooth piece of the jar. It's just completely smooth there, right? So we're going to take, and I'm going to use that as my scratch pad because I didn't bring any paper over here. All right, so I don't want it that dark, so I'm just going to place it down on this scratch pad right here, this paper, and just take a lot of that ink off, right? So now I'm just going to take this. It doesn't look like there's much ink on there, but I just want it to look like it's got some water in it. So you're just going to line it up, right? So we're going to line it up. That's the nice thing about these photopolymer stamps is you can actually see what you're doing. And then I'm just going to press it down. And there you go. We've got, now that's fine because we're going to punch this thing out so it doesn't matter. I went outside of the lines. But see how nice that looks, and not quite as dark, and it looks like it's got some water in it. So that's what we did. All right, so let me move my ink out of the way and let me clean this little guy off, and we'll move them over here. Let me put them back over here. Now we'll go ahead and punch out. So we're going to use our punch. Let me move this out of the way. We don't need that here. Try to clean up my area. Where do I have the, oh, it goes with the other stamp. I was wondering, why do I have Pear Pizzazz? But that's for the next stamp. All right, so we're just going to line this up, right? Line it up in the punch, and you want to try to get it as even as possible. And I think that's good. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch. And the nice thing about these newer punches, I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I'm starting to get arthritis in my left thumb. And I know for a lot of my customers that are older than I, like 15 to 20 years, they start to have a hard time with the punches. But these seem to be working a lot easier. I think as you use them and they start toughening up, They're a little bit harder to punch. So anyways, so that's, whoops, let me shut this over here. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and build our card and put this together. So I'm going to take my Whisper White and I'm going to fold it in half. And again, this is the thick Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and take my bone folder and I'm just going to make a nice crease there. And I know this is really is a simple card in the sense that it's not a lot to it, but you have the ability, you know, it's not a lot of stamping outside of, you know, this and coloring it. That's probably was the hardest part right there. So I am going to find my famous liquid glue, which we love. And let's go ahead and pull these papers in. I don't have my grid paper down, so it's making me a little nervous. So we're going to stick it on here. All right, so we're going to, and you know, this is the back side of that dotted paper. So that's not a bad paper either. And that's kind of manly looking, so. And we do have, you know, Father's Day. My birthday is the first day of summer, which happens to be Father's Day is taken over on my birthday. And I told my husband that does not count because I always joke him and tell him we're going to start, I start celebrating the first of the month. And I celebrate for the whole month. In my own little world, I do. And I told him, I said, I cannot believe that they are having your Father's Day on my birthday. I don't, you know, I'm not really want to share. I don't want to share with him. But I guess I'm going to have to. I don't have kids, but, you know, the dog, I'll give him a card from the doggy. But anyways, I couldn't believe that when I saw that on my calendar. It said Father's Day. I'm like, what? I only share my birthday with the first day of summer. So, anyways, just giving him a hard time. Okay. All right. I packed up my tweezers, so I'm going to have to try to not get my fingers on this glue, green glue, Tombow. So are you all enjoying the catalog, all the fun stuff that we have now? There's some really nice product. I'm going to be placing an order here shortly because I have, we were incented based on our sales of Celebration. We earned like play money, I guess, if you will, that you could use, and I'm just going to trim off my edges. And again, this is 3/4 by 5.5 to be able to use to buy products. So I've got some money that I need to use up by the 16th. You have to order it by the 16th or we lose that little incentive stuff. So I don't want to lose that money because that was, you know, don't want to do that. All right, and then this is the piece. And then on the back side of this wood grain piece, there's writing on it that says, it's our statement of the heart. It says, to love what we do and share what we love. In this, we make a difference. I thought that's kind of cool. And they've got it in the different languages. So they have it in French, German, Japanese, and I forget what other language that we have. But anyway, so, all right. So we're just going to put some adhesive on the back of this. And I feel kind of out of sorts because I don't have my grid paper, but that's all right. I've got a ruler here if I need it. So we'll just add this piece in the center. And I'm going to try to get it lined up so it's even between the two. And actually, I want to put the wood grain. I like that. So I'm going to put that up towards the top. And this might be a little bit longer. Sometimes I'd rather have it a little bit too long. Then I can cut it, you know, I can trim it up. So we're going to get that on there. Yeah, and it is. So I'll just trim it off. So we'll just push that on there, let it sit for a minute, and I'll turn it over. Do you like that? And we've got it, let me cut this off. So again, this is what I say, 2 3/4 by 5.5, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I'm sorry, 2 1/4. 2 1/4 by 5.5. Okay, so there's our card. Pretty much it. That's it. All right, now we're going to use, which we did the last time we used this card, was the, oh my gosh, guys, I'm telling you, what did I do with my thread? I threw it in my box. It's right over here. Hold on a minute. I'm using the twine from the, hang on a second. I got to get it out of the box. My apologies again. I swear I thought I left it on the table. See, I'm trying to get too organized. That's my problem. Well, maybe I lied. Hang on a minute. Hold on, ladies. I'm sorry. I know y'all are going to think I'm a goofball. I have it here somewhere. What did I do with you? Well, you know what? We'll just do some twine. All right, we're improvising. I have the, I guarantee as soon as I tie this bow, I'm going to find my ribbon. It's one of the packs that comes with a double pack, but that's all right. We're just going to use our hemp twine. No big deal. All right, sorry about that. I know, I tell you, it's comedy hour. You never know what's going to happen when Dawn Duvall gets making cards. So, oh my gosh. It just shows that we're all human, right? We all make mistakes. So let's just cut some of this off. I'm going to tie a bow. Now, I'm wrapping, I'm not using the, we're not making this a shaker card, but I did realize after we did that one where I just tied the bow, I realized that, you know, once you put the shaker on it, you could put the string on the back and when pull that glue off and it will stick right to it. So I'm just going to tie a little bow, and give me just a second so I can get it tied, and then I'll make my, I know I'm telling you, tying bows, sometimes, you know, it's easy and then sometimes it's not, and I have to hover over it, so give me 1 second. If y'all have any techniques, you know, I try to, I don't know if I'm just thumbs or not, but I try to, you know, use my fingers and to hold it down and push it through and all that other mess, and my fingernails are actually short, so I don't think that's the problem, but anyways, we're just going to get it on here. Okay, that's good. Let me just tighten it down. For those that may be new to stamping and that are watching, if you want to tighten it, just hold the knot in the center and then just pull your strings to where you want your bows to get, whatever size, and then just keep adjusting them. And I think that looks good. Now, what I did before, and I really honestly I can't remember the name of this, and I'll look it up. The ribbon, this is the baker's twine that comes with the silver and the white mixed together. And it's one of the sweets, and I want to say it's the, I don't think it's the Playful Pets. No, I don't think it's that one. Anyways, I'll find it. But we're just using the hemp twine, so this is, you know, if all else fails, you use that. So we'll just trim this up just a little bit. Didn't bring my ribbon scissors, but that's all right. Hang on a second, let me trim this guy up. He's a little too long. There we go. All right, so we're going to take this. Now, I'm not going to pop this one up. I'm going to lay this down flat on the card, and then I'll pop up the flowers, and then we'll make our sentiment. So I'm just going to lay this right about here. You know, whatever you want to do is fine. And so I'm just going to kind of place it towards the bottom, and then we'll do our sentiment, and I'll just put a little bit of glue right there. So we'll just attach this. And this, again, this is a very simple card. You know, sometimes I've learned less is more. You know, when I was teaching classes before this pandemic hit, and we, you know, obviously I can't do that right now. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to do it at all. But, you know, it got to the point where I was making all these, you know, elaborate cards, not really elaborate, but elaborate enough that my customers finally said, and I appreciate their feedback. Trust me, I've got big shoulders. And they finally came and said, Dawn, you've got to stop. So go back. So I started thinking, you know, less is more. I need to get back, do not as hard stuff. And so it's, you know, it still looks nice, right? It's a beautiful card. It's just not as elaborate as it could be. All right, so I'm going to lay this over here. So it's going to kind of go over the jar lid. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on here. I'm just oops, I'll put one right there. And we'll put one right here. So I'm just going to pop it up on the dimensionals. And the rest of it will just hang over. And if I just follow my own thing about pushing off and getting my things off, the backs of the dimensionals. All right, so I'm just going to lay that right about there. So it's kind of covering up the lid a little bit. And just going to lay it right there. All right, and then next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our sentiment. So we're going to come in with our black ink. We're going to use our Memento ink. You know, this is still on back order, just to let you all know. It has just been crazy but just be patient. That's all I can tell you. If you order something, then it takes a long time. Stampin' Up's doing the best they can. So I am using the word enjoy. Actually, this comes out of the Country Home set. So I'm gonna stamp this on here. And I know this piece is a little bit big, but I want to get the I want to punch it, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to adjust that. So let me put that there. Let me move this out of the way. Clean off my stamp. Okay, so we're going to take our Label Me Fancy punch, and we're going to punch this out just like you would do. So let me just get it in here and get it even. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and punch this out, right? All right, so I've got that. Now I'm going to take this again, and you can do this with any punch. All right, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So I'm going to take this, and this end I'm going to put inside the punch where it cuts, okay? So once I get it in here, of course now it's going to make me into a liar. Once I, and you got to get it lined up, obviously, because you got to get it between the two pieces of metal so it can cut. You want to get it in here, and it's not something you want to do all the time, but it is a way that you can shorten. Of course, now it's going to make me out to be a liar. Hang on a minute. Yep, it's got to go right here. We're going to push it through. Maybe we're not going to push it through. All right, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, aren't you? All right, come on, get in there. See, it's getting hung up on the... Hang on a second. Let me look and see. All right, so it's got to go right in here. I did it earlier, and it went like sliced bread, you know. It was easy. Let me just put my finger underneath and lift it up. I think that's what has to happen. You know, we might not end up doing this. There we go. Got it in there. All right, so just push it in for whatever length you want of your sentiment, and make, whoops. See, there you go. It fell right out because I didn't push it down. All right, hang on. Let's try this one more time. See if we can get him in there this time without it fighting it. So I'm just going to stick my finger underneath to lift it up. And there we go. Got it in there. So I'm going to hold it. Let me hold it real quick. Okay. So let's go with, I'm going to move it just a little bit like that. And then I'm going to punch. Oops, not straight. Hang on. Sorry, my hand's in the way, but I want to get it straight. All right. I think that's good. So it's going to be a little bit off-centered, but that, and I'll fix it. So that's how you can cut this down. The other one I did was perfect, but anyways, that's what happens when you do it on live camera. So I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, and then we're going to add some dots, so I can just adjust accordingly. And we'll just put 2 dimensionals on here, and then I'll just put some put the dots on the side where there is too much white space. So that's what we'll do, and that way nobody knows. Let me just pop these little guys off and get that there. All right, so let's put that right about here, and let me get that off there. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit at an angle, and so I'm just going to put my little dots right there, and I think that will look nice because that should take up some space. So these are the enamel dots. Now, the best way is kind of hold your, use your snips or whatever, but you want to bend just a little bit and lift up. I do it on the surface. You may find, and we've had some issues, that if you don't pull it all the way up, the blue piece that makes the color comes off. So just to be aware, if you have problems like that with something that you purchase, now see, it's come off on my finger. So I've got to stick it back down on there. That's what's happening. So we're going to take this off. Somehow the adhesive is not cooperating. But if you find that this happens, then you need to call Stampin' Up, and they will they'll send you out another set, or reimburse you if you prefer. So let me just get that there. And it should have adhesive on it, and it's not working. So, well, then you got to see what really happens. So I'm going to pull this off again, and we're going to stick it down. I'm just going to stick it right down on the same color. There we go. So we got that there, and then I'm just going to put another color. I'm going to stick with the blue, and I'll just pull that up, and I'm going to put that right down here. That way it kind of takes up some of that. I'll move it off just a little bit. All right, so there's our card. Very simple. The hardest part to this was coloring and obviously trying to cut that down. But that just kind of shows you how you can take punches and adjust the size depending on what the actual punch does. So I'll move this down so y'all can see that. All right, so that's a very easy card, and I really like. And I could have put the stems in here, which I didn't. So and you could have put the stems in here if you wanted to, but that's okay. All right, well that's the first card. So let's move on to the next one. Let me move this out of the way, and give me just a moment, and let me shift my papers out of the way and punches so I don't have these. Actually, I'll just stick them up here. Bear with me for sticking my hands in the camera. I'll put these up here because we'll show you those later this evening. All right, so let me move this and this and this. Now, and I'm sure you all have seen, if you haven't already ordered it, the next thing that we are doing, and I just got this in the other day, and let me get my card. This is what we're going to be making. Let me get all my pieces to it. Now, this is using the Forever Fern stamp set, designer paper, and the embossing folder, and the gold hoops and everything. So let me show you this in the book. Hang on, because I want to show you. Where is Forever Fern? He's on page 110, and I want to show you. Hang on a minute. Let me get to the book here. 110, and I'm going to show you. This is isn't this gorgeous? The sweet. So we're using these hoops, these gold hoops. Could use those for earrings. We're going to use the gold hoops, and we're using the gold, I'm going to call it baker's twine. It's just a twine. And I'm not using this gold paper. You can buy these are already pre-cut. I'm just using regular gold foil, and we're going to cut some stuff out of that. And, but isn't this gorgeous? Garden green, pear pizzazz, just jade, pretty peacock, shaded, spruce, and soft sea foam. So those are all of the green colors. And then this is what the stamp looks like if you haven't seen it. And this is one of those distinctive. So when you stamp it, it gives it a more realistic look. So that's what we're going to do. And this is what we're making. And here is the colors of the papers. I'm sure y'all have seen this, but oh my gosh, isn't it just gorgeous? I love all these greens. It's just, this is probably one of my favorite with the blues and stuff in it. Isn't that nice? All right, so that's that, and we are going to make this card. Now, this, I'm doing something similar with the paper. I'm using a different design than this one for the one that we're going to make, but we're going to put the gold hoop on it, and I've got little gold strips behind here. They're like 1/4 of an inch, if I'm not mistaken. So this is thick whisper white as well. So this is your 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then these two strips are 1.5 by 4 inches. I'm sorry, this one's 1.5 by 4. This one's 1 inch by 4. So I made it a little bit smaller. And then this piece, this whisper white, is 2 3/4 by 4. And look at this embossing folder. Now, you know we're coming out with our new cutting machine, right? Our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So this is one that will fit in, and if you look in the catalogs, it's got that little circle that says, I think it says, oh gosh, what is it? Anyways, it tells you it goes in the smaller machine. Well, I ordered this not realizing there's two things in here. So look at this. This is the one that I used, which is the leaves. And you probably can't see that. Let me see. Well, you can see it here, but that's what it looks like. So this is the leaf one. And then this one is the right here. This is what it looks like. But I just thought that was so cool. I didn't know that. So you get the leaves here. And then you've got the one that does these on each end. But this will fit in the small Stampin' Emboss, Emboss, and Cut machine. Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And the large one runs 120, and the small one is 60. Now, they're telling us it's probably going to be about 2 months or so, 2 months or so before we can get those in, unfortunately. But I just thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be so easy and compact for storage, you know, with the smaller embossing folders. So that's what I did on this one right here. All right, so we're going to move that one out of the way. And then I cut these out. It does have a die set that coordinates with it. So this is the stamp set. And you've got various different flat leaves. So we're using this one on the card that I made, and then the one that we're working with this evening, we're going to work with, I think I'm using this one here if I'm not mistaken. All right, so that's really pretty. And then you get, let me see how many dies are in here. 14 dies. I haven't transferred these over to my magnetic plates, but look at all the dies you get. You got this one here. This one I used on the gold, and then I used this one here to cut out, no, I think it was this one to cut out the leaves. Now, some of these, I think, you might be able to cut out of the designer series paper as well. I haven't tried that yet, so don't hold me to that. But you got quite a few things in here, and then this leaf as well. All right, so that's what we did. Now again, I've pre-cut everything again to save time. So I'm going to just put that off to the side, and let me bring in this. And these are those hoops, and they come in a package of, there's 10 in a pack. Look at that. Aren't those pretty? So you've probably seen cards. If you go on Pinterest, you'll see all sorts of things that people are using these and covering them with flowers and leaves and all that. So I think that's really pretty. All right, so this is what we're going to do, and I'm using glue dots to hold the gold hoop down. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Now we're going to use a different paper, and I'm going to put that off to the side here. So again, I've got my thick whisper white, and I've pre-cut all of my pieces. So let me go ahead and fold my whisper white. I have it scored at 4 1/4. Now you see how, I don't know if y'all can see that, but I have a little bit of a lip there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back the other way to fold it. Is sometimes when you score it, and you fold it, sometimes it does give you a little bit like 1/8 of an inch or maybe a 1/16 shy. But if I fold it back the other way, it's almost completely covered up. So that's what I do, and that way it's pretty even, and you don't have to worry about people looking at it thinking, what in the world did she do? All right, so this is my 1 1/2 by 4. So we're going to lay this one here. Now these colors are Pear Pizzazz, Garden Green. It's got some as what is in here, and then this one is going to be 1 by 4. So those are going to go on this side, just like I did the that card I just showed you. And then we're going to take this piece, which I've already embossed, and I'm going to attach these 2 little gold pieces underneath, and I cut them a little bit, slightly longer, and I'll just trim them off. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to attach our paper, our designer series paper, to the front of our card. I'm thinking I'm going to lay this flat because for some reason the thick cardstock doesn't want to lay down. So, and this is the back side. This doesn't really show you much, but it's green with white leaves outlined on it. So isn't that pretty? It's really, I would have never thought about all these greens together, but it really looks nice. I like this. This is one of my favorite sets, and I didn't order it initially because I wasn't sure when we could do the pre-order, which it's okay, but I ordered it this time. But I definitely didn't order it during our pre-order. So, and then these are cut at 4, so you're going to have a little bit of an edge on the card. So I'm going to bring it over just a little bit. So I'm going to have white showing on each side. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to have that goes in there. Yeah, that'll work. And then I'm going to put this on the other side. Get my little handy dandy green glue to go with my green paper. And again, this is a very easy card. It doesn't take that long really to make. You're not doing a whole lot of stamping. I did one set of flower or leaves that I stamped and cut out with the dies. All right, so I think that's on there. And what I did with these, I did the rock and roll technique. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that. So I stamped in shaded spruce, put the ink on the stamp, and then I stamped off just a little bit because it was a little too dark. And then I took the Pear Pizzazz, and all you do is take your ink, your stamp that's got the ink on it, and you basically just kind of roll it around on your while it's down on the card. You know, after you stamped it, you just roll it around, and then it gives you this two-toned effect. And isn't that cute? Isn't that pretty? And you can do this with anything that you want to add 2 different colors to. So, but that's how I got that distinctive look. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and let me move this out of the way. I'm going to put some the Tombow on the back side right along this edge here to get the gold. And I don't want to put too much because I know it's going to ooze out on me. So we're going to put that there. Whoops. And see, there's my glue, which is fine. And I'm just going to show just a tad. I don't want a whole lot. And if I've got a little bit, I know I'm going to have a little bit hanging out, which is fine because I'm going to come back and trim it. All right, so we're just going to let that sit for just a minute so it adheres. That's one thing nice about the Tombow glue is that it really gives you the time to push it down, and then you can adjust it as needed. I'm going to turn this little guy. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing on this side. And we'll just put a little strip. This time I'll try not to be as heavy-handed with my glue. There we go. And then we'll add our gold strip to that one. I have to turn it around because I'm right-handed, so I'm sure y'all can relate. All right, so we'll just get this one on here as well. I'll try to get it up there, but I only have to trim off one end. And we'll put that down there. Hopefully I've got them even, but you know, I don't let that stuff, you know, I'm not, and y'all can probably tell, I'm not a perfectionist. So I just, you know, I let it roll, because honestly, when somebody looks at this, they're not going to be measuring how much gold is showing through. So I'm just going to come with my snips and just snip off the ends that are hanging over. So that makes it a little bit easier. That way you know you've got it at least long enough, right? So we'll just snip those little guys off. Let me move this over here. Okay, so we've got that. Now we'll go ahead and attach him to the front of the card. And again, I'm just going to use the green glue on this. And sometimes when you're using an embossed piece that you're laying down, sometimes you do want to use a little bit heavier glue or stronger glue for it to adhere. The embossing part can make a difference too. So I'm just going to lay this down here. Now this one actually is going to cover up, so I'm not going to have any white shown on the inside, but I do have it on the edges of the card. So I'm going to place that right there. I'm going to just let it sit for a minute, let it make sure it's dry. And there we go. Of course, this is a little bit bigger piece and this is smaller, so it makes the card look like it's off-centered, but that's okay because that's what I wanted. All right, now we're going to I'm going to attach, I'm going to move this back down. I'm going to attach my gold. Now, I did cut these out of the gold foil paper. I'm going to use glue dots to attach these. Let me get my flowers over here because I need those with my thing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my glue dots. And I'm just going to attach the glue dots in areas that I know won't be seen. So, and you just have to be gentle when you pull these things off, obviously, because the paper is a little bit more, easy to tear because we're talking about little tiny pieces here. And so since my flower's right there, I'm just sticking that one down. This is a lot easier. If you don't do this, you might want to try this technique. It's a lot easier to get your glue dots on and just lift it up. So I think I'm going to put one right here, if I can find my glue dot. And I don't want them to all pop. I want some of them to stand up a little bit, but I think I might need one right here. Okay, so we're going to do this one. I don't want to tear off my thing. Okay, there we go. All right, and no rhyme or reason. I'm just placing them down here. I just going to place them down. So I'm going to put that right about there. Get my finger. The glue's got my finger. Let me stand mine up so I can look at it. All right, so we're just going to place these down. Some of them are going to stand up a little bit, which is fine. I don't mind because it's, I want it to look, I don't want it to look so flat. Okay, and then we're going ahead and do our other one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to, there's some larger spots in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue dots there. And somebody had told me, and I haven't done it yet, they put a piece of string around here so that it slides, so you can slide it down with your, as you're rolling. So for instance, hang on, let me get this glue dot off my thumb. Might as well use him. But they take a string and they wrap it around. They don't tie it really tight, but they wrap it around the whole base through here, and then they tie it, but it's light enough that when you pull this down, it keeps this little flappy-do thing out of your way. So that's kind of a clever idea. I'm going to have to try that, and y'all can see when I do it. All right, so let me put some more glue dots on here. Hang on a second. I got to get this guy pulled up here. All right, so we're going to put one here. Again, I want there. I like this guy kind of sitting up just a little bit. They're coming off. I've used these dots so much they're starting to fall off the thing here. And I think I will do one right here. Let's do this one. And if I need some more, then we can add them. I just take my scissors. Actually, I got one on my thumb, so we'll just add that one while I'm thinking about it. Whoopsie. And we'll put this one. They're sticky little devils. I'll put that one right there. Hopefully it will come off my thumb. There we go. All right, so this one I'm going to place it the opposite direction And I'm just going to kind of turn it a little bit. Now this is going to be hidden because we're going to put some other flowers and stuff there. So I'm just going to lay these down. And if I feel like I need to add more glue dots, then I can just pull them off with my scissors. Like this one, because it's at the bottom, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take one off with the tips of my scissors, and I'm just going to place it right there. And then that way it kind of holds that down because I don't want it to get lifted up and torn. All right, so now with that, I'm going to, I think I'm going to add my gold hoop. And then I'm going to add the other flowers on top of this. So this one, I'm using my dimensionals again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab it. Probably going to have to use my fingers. And I'm just going to kind of tuck it around just enough so it will hold it on the paper. And then we'll just add a couple of more small pieces. Nothing, we're not going to go too much. So I'll put one like right here. I'll come back and I'll put one probably right here. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of wrap them or hold them, you know, underneath, kind of fold them up so they'll stick, right? So I'm going to go ahead and place that because I want him to stick out. So I'm going to place that right about there. And then I'm just going to place it down, and I'll just tuck it under. Once it gets on there, no one's going to really see those little guys. I'm just going to push it under so it doesn't stick out and then something gets stuck to it. So you're just going to have to play with it. All right, so that's that. Now I'm going to take these and pop these up on dimensionals. And these are the ones that I did in this shaded spruce with the pear pizzazz. And I'm just going to pop these on top. So I'll put one there, and we'll put one there. And actually, did I bring my babies? I think I got the, let me see if I have any babies. Any little baby mini dimensionals. Did I bring those? Let me see. I don't think I did. But anyways, that's okay. Let's see. So let's peel these off. And again, this is a really, you know, there's not a lot of stamping. Actually, you could do this without any stamping and just write your message. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I want this guy, because both of these are going in the same direction, right? So I think I'll put one, let me put one right here, because I think I want to cover, obviously I want to cover up this piece right here. And I want it to go over my hoop, right? And then this one, I think I want, well, I don't want him to go that way because that's not going to look right. So I think what I'll do is maybe put him down here like that. What do y'all think? Maybe do it like that. I think that'll look good. So let's put a dimensional. Let's see. I already got dimensionals on here. Let me think about this because they're a little close. So I want to get them between. Yep, that'll work because I can get that right between the hoop because I don't want it on top of the hoop. All right. Y'all still there? Y'all still awake? You haven't fallen asleep yet, have you? Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this, I'm going to put the hoop right between there, but I'm going to lay this over just a little bit. Let me get there. Yeah, right about there. And just kind of have them both going that way. All right, I think that's pretty. Oh, I like that. Isn't that pretty? But put it down for you. I love this. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the same punch. Pardon me for reaching. Let me grab that one. And we are going to punch out. I know I have white cardstock, so what did I do with all my little scrappy pieces? Hang on a minute. Let me find them. Oh, you know what? I stamped the, I didn't bring the green over here. Well, that's all right. You know what? I'll use the pear pizzazz. That's what it's out here for. All right, we're going to use pear pizzazz. Oh, here's I was trying to find my white scraps, and I put them behind me. All right, so we are going to, let me move my card out of the way, and we are going to stamp the hello from this stamp set, which is, oh, it's a bigger hello. Where did I get that one from? Hang on a minute. Hello. Where did that one come from? Where is my hello? Oh, it's over here. Oh, you know what? Whoops. Hang on. I just dropped my stamp. Hold on. Let me pick it up with my feet. I've got the, I can show you that rock and roll if you want. I just forgot I had the stamps over here that we can do. So let me take this off and put that there. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in pear pizzazz because that's the color that I used, and that's pear pizzazz right there. So we're going to stamp this, and this is a larger hello. And we're going to stamp that right there. All right, let's close that up. I was thinking, why do I have the stamps over there? Because I'm not stamping. And then I realized I was going to show you all how to do the two-step stamping. I mean, the rock and roll thing, but that's okay. All right. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Okay, so we're going to line this up. Try to get it as centered as possible. I think that looks good. So let's pop this little guy out. All right, pull this away. And then we're going to, you get to watch me again, tie a bow. And we're going to use this gorgeous, oh, look, there's my thread that I was looking for. It's in my little case right next to my desk where I'm working. Can you believe that? This is from the Flowers for Every Season, that blue and silver. Can you believe that? All right, now I got to find my gold. Let's see. Well, that's the one that I probably did not bring, of all things. No, wait a minute. Let me look. Y'all are going to think I'm a scatterbrain, I'll tell you. What did we do with it? Hang on. You know, I bet you. Hang on a second. Let me go find it because we definitely want to use that gold. Hang on one second. I know, it's crazy. Oh, it's right here in front of me. I swear. See what I mean, you guys? Everything is white and it blends in. And I have glasses on. You'd think I'd be able to see, right? Isn't this pretty? I'm sure you've seen this gold before. Look at that, if you can even see it. Let me put it down here. Can you see the gold on the white? Okay, that's what we're going to do. So here's our card. So now we're going to tie a bow. But I want it like a double bow, and I've never done this before. So what I did was I just took some twine, and I tried to get it long so I can make a double bow and then tie it. So let me think about how did I do this. Yeah, I think this is what I did. And I know that's a lot, but I can trim it and bring it back. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this, and this might be kind of goofy. I'm going to pull this through. Hopefully this works. It might not work right, but we'll see. And we'll get that in there. And I'm not going to pull it too tight because oh, that's not going to work. Let me go back and do it the way I normally do. Hang on a second. Let me undo this guy. We're not going to do that way because that doesn't work. My dog is licking her feet. Miss Riley. Ugh. I don't know. I think it's neurotic. I think she's just crazy. All right, let's try this again. We're going to loop this, and I'm going to loop it again so I can get, I want to get 2 loops out of this deal. And then, what did I do the last time? Oh, wait a minute, these guys aren't straight. And it's fraying. So you can take this and tear it apart if you want and use the little fine, see how those little wispy fine things are? Because it starts to unravel. But that's kind of cool looking too. So you can have like a little wispy end. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do bunny ears. We'll just do bunny ears and just keep them on one. So that's okay. We'll just do that. No, we're not. Let me just do it this way. Hang on. We're just going to, God, now I've gone completely blank on how to tie a bow. Can you believe that? Let's go back to bunny ears. One of my customers, I never heard of bunny ears before on how to tie bows. And she showed me how to do it. And it was very simple, really. So you just make your bows, make your loops, and then you wrap them together. Obviously, I can't do that. So we will just, I'm just going to tie my own bow. Hang on a minute. There we go. I knew I was something I wasn't doing right. We're just going to do a regular bow, and it's doubled up. So let's pull that through and get it tight. And then we're going to pull this and make it smaller. Hang on a second. And pull this one down and tighten this little guy up. All right, come on. There we go. And we'll get those in. All right, so we'll tighten that up, and we'll pull these in a little bit because they're a little bit too big. And this is where, you know, you can spend more time trying to get your bows together. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger bow because it's kind of a good size, you know, place that we want that to go anyways. So let me just make these a little bit bigger. There we go. I think that'll be fine. Yep, and then we'll trim it up. So I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of this as well. So let me grab one of those. I'm just going to take my finger and roll it up into a little tiny ball and attach it to the back of the knot on the this gold string. And then I'm going to place this on here, and then I'll trim up my tails. So I'm going to place that right, I'm going to put it on the top of the sentiment. All right, and then I'm going to get my tails pulled down. Let me trim these up real quick. I don't have my ribbon scissors, but these will do if I hold it taut. And then we'll add this to the front of the card. And then we'll be done. But I love how that stuff kind of frays. That's going to be cute. I mean, all sorts of things we can make with that. All right, so let's pull that down a little bit. Get some dimensionals on here, wherever they went. You know what happens is, you know, and I'm sure y'all do this on your craft table, you lay something down, and then you go to look for it, and you can't find it because it's all blended in with everything, or it's upside down, or you got something sitting on top of it. You can't, you're like, what in the world? So I'm just going to put two dimensionals on here and peel off the backings, and then we'll add our sentiment. And I may have to do a little glue dot to get my tails because they're sitting out, and I'd really rather have them come down, but they may not want to do that. So I might have to fight with that. So in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead. I think I'm going to add that. I want to put it right about here. I want to try to hide those stems, I think. So I'm going to put it right about there. And we'll get those little these little guys to work. All right, what do y'all think about that? Yeah, that definitely, we got to definitely do something with those little pieces there because this is not tight enough. All right, so we'll fix that and make that look prettier. There you go. So there's our second card. Let me get back in the camera. Sorry, guys. I was so excited to look at my card. Okay, and then here is our card that we made earlier. So this is our Forever Fern. Easy, easy, easy card. Only thing that we stamped was the hello. Now I will go, let's see. We have I've got the stamp here. Let's stamp the inside using our Pear Pizzazz, and then we'll be done. All right, so let's stamp a little flower on the inside because we want to keep everything. You always want to stamp, and I don't have an envelope, but I would stamp the envelope as well. So let's just stamp a leaf right here. All right, so now we have a little bit of shading of a nice leaf. So when they open the card, it's not quite as plain. And there's our card. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that. So there you go. That's the Forever Fern. And then here is our Jar of Love. So kind of similar cards, just different format openings. This is 4 1/4 by 11. And this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. But don't you just love two different cards? Very easy, very simple cards, and very little stamping, with the exception of this one, you got a color. But this one, aren't those gold hoops just gorgeous? All right, there you go. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your Tuesday night schedule. I really appreciate it. Next week, I'll be coming to you from somewhere in the southern part of Florida. We're going to Jensen Beach in the RV, so I will have everything ready, and hopefully we'll have a good internet connection, and I will make sure I get everything set up, done the right way, so it's not sideways like it was last weekend, or last week. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you stopping by and watching my craziness in my craft room. If you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, I'd love to work with you and earn your business. And if you want to shop through my online store, you can go to shallwestamp.com, and then this is the host code, which is also listed. And for those that may have just joined, I have an online BOGO that I'm doing, and it's Shall We Stamp Online BOGO is the name of the page. You'll have to ask to join, and then there's instructions. Please read the instructions thoroughly, and if you have any questions, reach out to me by messenger, and take a look at my retired products and see if there's anything in there that you have to have. All right, thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next Tuesday, and if I can help you with anything, please reach out. All right, thanks again. Bye now.